Good afternoon. I am here along with others of my group member, and I will basically be discussing a application that is made through Video Studio for any HR management at any personnel office. Basically, can work for personal officers, bursars at schools, anybody that having to do with HR. As you can see, it is used to collect data, various data from employees working there. This particular one. Now, our forms that we have our first form, which is, as I say, I'm opening it up at this time. This is our first form, which is as you can see, it's our logging form. This is what the user would see of not on the application at the onset. The first time it opens, this is what the user would see, and as you can see, it has a password and an email. On the back end, it is hard coded to bring you to the next form, which will be the main page. Now, this is the main page. This main page basically leads you to the other pages of the application. As you see, when you click options here, it brings you down to branch info, department information, and department manager. And if you go over to the other option and click there, you'll notice that employee information, job title, and salary. Each one of these buttons brings you to another page. And if you look over here in the where we have the solution searcher, you can see all the other tables which are made here. For instance, you have the job title form that would display the format for the job title. Now the job title page leads you here. This is where basically you get a grid view of the database, which is right here. This would be the grid view of the database. So you can see whichever data is entered within it, as well as there are date pickers for the dates to be entered, and here are the text boxes for identification and job title to be entered as well. Over here we have the buttons. You have the add or save to the database, delete from the database, update from the database, clear and close from the database as well. Alright, as you can see, there's a bit of a damage to my screen that I'm working with, but as you see, the application is now being loaded, and here's the login page, which is the first thing that brings the user. Because we hard code the username and password within the page, we just need to enter that. But if it is entered incorrectly by the user and if the user clicks login, the first thing that he sees is this password. Enter a correct email or password. So that shows us that our login is actually working. So now I'll input the correct password in it. And as it says, login is successful. So now we'll move on to the next page. And this is where it opens up the MDI parent page, which brings you to all the other pages. Now I'm going to go for a branch information page and wait for it to load. Now see it, the branch information table has now loaded, and as you can see, we have the different text boxes here, the date pickers for the date, and even a grid view of the database itself. And the buttons are here to add, click, delete, or clear any entries made there. Now, to show that the MDI parent form is working properly, we want to click on the branch info again to ensure that another version of it cannot be opened while that page is open and running. And you see, we have been clicking on it and it's not opening. But if we go to try to move to open another page, we see that the department page is being opened. As well, the same functions are here, and the department information manager page opens as well. And if we go over here, we notice that the job title page opens, as well as the salary page opens with all the controls there. And for each of these pages, you can either do two things. To close the application on each page, you just need to click the close button. Or if you want to exit the page totally. You click the exit button, which exits the entire application, closes it down. So we're just going to close the page. And as you see, there is a message box that asks you if you want to confirm or not. As well as, without you using the close button, you can actually use the X, which removes the pages as well, and the application continues to run. So that shows us most, if not all, of our application that we have created thus far. Our database is functional at this time, and now I'll be moving on to the second part of this, which has to do with the ASP.NET. Good evening again. This continuation of this video speaks to ASP.NET, of the same application which was created to give the web aspect of it. As you can see, we would have created the various controllers within this application for ASP.NET, and most of the controllers were created from the ADO model, which was also done in the WinForms application that we had created. And as the ADO model, as you can see here, here are the ADO models which links each table. We have our branch table, we have our department table, our employee information table, our salaries table, as well as our job title table, our departments table, and our departments information table. So that's what the ADO model does, is link the framework so that everything works or corresponds as it should. And a controller for each of these tables has been made, as you can see right here. Each of the controllers have been made right there. We have made a controller for each of them to fit that entity framework model that we had created. So just looking back again on the entity framework for you to see it. As you see, each of the tables are there presented. We'll be opening the application now in the Microsoft Edge browser, so we'll see how it comes up. Just give it a few minutes and it will load automatically. As you can possibly see at this time, it's loading from localhost, which is from where the database itself is created. It continues to load, so just give it some time for it to finish loading. And this is our main page. And as you see, we have the carousel bootstrap running with our diagrams going across the screen, and we refer to the page as HR management system. Now at the heading in our navigator bar, we have each of our tables right there, which is information, employee information, job title, salaries, departments, branch information. We could not put all of them up there in the nav bar, so hence we placed more options here, which was for the department manager table and the department information table. So once this page pops up, one just has to click on whichever department they're interested in and click on it, allow it to load. As you see, it's loading. Still waiting on it, still loading at this time. has now loaded the employees information page. So we're on the employees information page, which is loading from our local host. And as you can see, all the field names which were generated in the database are now there. So when we go on this now and click create new, it loads all the text boxes and everything that is connected to the database itself. Now should we go on to create it to see if the validation is working? As you see, it is working because it's asking that these fields are not null and what is required of them. So we're going to just put in some information within the fields and generate just something within the database. So we'll just put gibberish for ID numbers. First name should be a char, so we'll use that. Last name likewise. Date of birth. Gender. Higher date. I think it is a date picker. Hence, there's a proper way for it to be done. So you have to put in the format with the date actually. So we'll say 15th of the 4th, 2019 for that, and we'll just repeat the same here and say the 7th and 8th right there. Going down now to line for address, which will just enter some more gibberish just to test the code. Phone number as well, email, country, and now we'll press create to see if it creates in the database. As you see, the date picker is still needed for date of birth, so we have to put it in a particular format. So let's see if it runs this time. Great. And as you can see, it's loading. And there it is. It's now created to the database. So we actually have that. Now to get rid of this, it is simple. We can delete. And as you see, we click delete. It asks you if you want to delete it. And we press delete and it is deleted. So it's our first thing. So now we're moving on to the job title page. And as you see, the credentials have come up once again, and they're all there. I'm checking on salaries. Same is there. Departments. Same is there. Branch information. The same is there. Now if we go back ahead to HR management system, due to the fact that we didn't put two of them in that navigation bar, they still can be accessed from by clicking any of these. Not the button, but the name itself, which leads you to the page that you can use a department ID, form data, and for the department table you can add information same. All that can be done. All in all, I would give this application a good grade. It's easy to use for any HR department, for any department that needs human resource management, for your personal officers, your bursars. It's not too outlandish. It is simple, sleek, a very cool tone, and it gets the job done. That's it from me and my team.